Hello and welcome to Oak Hills Open House 2022. I'm Mrs. Vandewoy and I'm your child's level 2 chemistry teacher, and I'm really glad to have them this year. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Rochester, New York. I went to Purdue University where I graduated with a degree in chemistry, so I know a little bit about my field. I taught for 1 year in Indiana, 2 years in South Carolina, and took a few years off to have my kids. Moved up to Cincinnati, where I've been a West Sider ever since. This is my 28th year at Oak Hills High School. You know, at this point, I even may have had a few of you as students, and if that's the case, I hope you stop by at Open House. I'd like to see you again if that's the case. Real quick, supplies should be brought every day. Actually, it's not a blue binder. I misprinted. It's actually a coral binder, and it has all their supplies they need, all their handouts, as every notes, every worksheet, every lab that we do in class. It's all in one binder. And I've been doing this ever since COVID, and the students really like having it as an organization tool for them. They really don't have their lost notes or anything, so it works out very well. Again, please write materials, your pens, your pencils, and you just need a simple calculator. It doesn't have to be a fancy graphing calculator. A $10 one will be just fine. We do a lot of math and chemistry, unlike biology class. So, they need to have that calculator to do the math. So make sure they have one and bring it as well. So this is one way I get a hold of my students. I send out a remind text if they have homework, and the students like that because they get a notification when they do get something from me, versus like an email. I know not every student checks their email as often as they should, so this remind works out. If you would like to sign up for your child's remind as well, you can get the same text than what I sent out to the class, so you know what's due for homework and if your child is doing it or not. Another way you can check to see how your child is doing and if they're doing their work is to get on Progress Book. I'm that teacher who practically updates it every single day. So if there is any kind of a grade that I collect that day, it's in Progress Book before I leave. So you can check maybe Progress Book once a week to make sure your child is doing their work. And if you sign up for the remind, you know what work is expected. So it's one way to help you as a parent to really see how your child is doing. If your child needs help, I do have office hours from 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. I usually get in before 7. And if your child wants to see me before 7:40, because that's the time they get out of the Commons, then they just can use that Remind app, text me personally saying, Mrs. Vandewoy, I want to see you at 7:30. I need help on whatever. And I can then put their name on the list so they can get out of the Commons before 7:40 if that's the case. I also am after school, until about 4 o'clock if they need help then. But something that started last year that I thought was really, really helpful was something called the Flex Spell. The Flex Spell is where the students can choose to come into my class, or I can actually choose them to come here. And it's a half an hour time period between third bell and fourth bell. It's like their homeroom, or twice a week and 3 days a week they can choose to go see any teacher they want for any extra help. So I found this really beneficial, especially for some of my level 2 chemistry students who wanted to do well but were struggling with certain concepts. So they'd come in, I could work with them one-on-one in that time frame, and I thought it was really, really good. So encourage your child, if they are struggling in any class, to take advantage of that Flex Spell. So that's a quick overview of level 2 chemistry. I hope that your child enjoys the class, and if you are at school for the open house this Wednesday, August 24th, stop by and I'd like to see you. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.